Rwandese abroad voted on Thursday in a referendum to amend the constitution to allow President Paul Kagame to rule until 2034, a day ahead, of course, of the main vote inside the country. Now, voting took place in embassies and consulates around the world. The constitutional amendment passed by Parliament last month reduces presidential terms to 5 years and maintains a 2-term limit, but makes an exception for Kagame. It would allow him to run for a third 7-year term in 2017, at the end of which the new rules come into play, and he'll be eligible to run for a further 2 5-year terms. Kagame has been at the helm of Rwanda's government since 2000. Now, CCTV's Jane Kio is keeping tabs on the story for us, and from Rwanda, she joins us from the capital, Kigali, with the latest on this. Now, Jane, of course, we know that voting has been taking place throughout the day in several Diaspora voting centers around the world. Are officials in Kigali satisfied with the exercise so far?
Well, Lindy, so far we've not really had any official communication about this, keeping in mind that voting is still going on given the different time zones in the diaspora. But we certainly expect more information once voting gets underway in just a couple of hours here in Rwanda. What we do know is that Electoral Commission officials have spent the better part of today and yesterday making those final preparations ahead of this historic referendum tomorrow. They've been distributing the electoral materials in the different polling stations. What we are hearing is that 150 observers will be taking part in the exercise, plus about 68,000 volunteers. Again, like you said, this is a historic referendum, mainly to change the constitution, to make changes to the constitution, mainly on the presidential term limits, and making an exception, most importantly, for President Paul Kagame, whose tenure comes to an end in 2017. Lindy?
Well, of course, Jane, we know if we just go back to Parliament's consultations with the public ahead of this referendum, it was rumoured then that only about 10 people in the country had emerged to express opposition to the proposed constitutional amendment. Do we expect anything different at the vote on Friday?
Well, I'll tell you what, Lindy, there's little doubt about the expected outcome of the vote tomorrow. And it's widely expected to swing the yes way, if I can say that. And speaking to many here in the capital, as you'd expect, they have little doubt about their expectations. And we spoke to some of them, and this is what they had to say. Take a listen.
Just a couple of hours to go, and on the streets of Kigali, there is no sign that Rwanda's political landscape may soon change. And the outcome is easily predicted, at least on the surface.
Yes, as they say, yego in Kinyarwanda.
We don't want any change because our president is very important.
We need this to change because we want a better future for our children.
I am 63 years old, and since I was born, I have never seen the kind of security and development that we have now.
I don't know about others, but since 1994, I can say our country has changed a lot.
Almost 4 million Rwandans have signed a petition demanding a constitutional change. They want President Kagame, who is ineligible to run in 2017, allowed to run again for another 7 years, and then possibly for 2 5-year terms stretching to 2034. The opposition claim otherwise. Tuyishime Jean and the opposition Green Party tried to challenge the referendum.
We're not expecting victory because we were not even given time to campaign, and we know that the process is already flawed.
President Paul Kagame is credited with ending Rwanda's 1994 genocide. Some have since then questioned his strategies when it comes to civil liberties. But Rwanda remains one of the most stable nations in East Africa. Ruling party MPs have been carrying out civic education on the vote in the districts. They say it's all about the people.
We aren't amending it in the interest of one person, but we are following the constitution as it is. That Article 193 states that anytime the people wanted to change this article, we'll change it.
The Electoral Commission says it too is ready.
The time is not short because we are Rwandans in the first place. We have been following what was taking place from the time the population started petitioning.
Well, the EU and the US have all objected to the vote, but President Paul Kagame maintains that this is about Rwanda, the nation, its people and interests, and that he will make a decision based on the outcome of the referendum. Jane Keo, CCTV, Kigali, Rwanda.
Well, Lindy, of course, President Paul Kagame will be among the 6.4 million registered voters who will be casting their ballot tomorrow. And of course, results are not, provisional results perhaps, are not expected in about 2 to 3 days. Lindy?
All right. Well, thank you very much for that update, Jane. Jane Keo there live for us in the Rwandan capital of Kigali. She'll be bringing us regular updates as that vote gets underway tomorrow.